Midnight Double Feature presents Bad Crystal, a Breaking Bad podcast. On this episode, we bring you Season 1, Episode 2, Cats in the Bag, written by Vince Gilligan and directed by Adam Bernstein. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 2 of Bad Crystal. Colin, how you going?
I'm doing good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm ready to dive into episode 2, Cats in the Bag. This is the I guess the follow up to the pilot. Let's see how we go. Let's see what you think. I'm curious to hear whether you're off the wagon yet or not. I'm curious to hear if there's going to be an episode where you're like, I don't like the show anymore.
Yeah, no, I'll get into it. Let's be honest. This episode is not. It's got some cool moments, but I think it sets I think it's going to set the pace for what the rest of the show will be. You know what I mean? It's not always going to be the pilot with guns and people and phosphorus acids and shit. Like there are some patient moments in this. I actually really enjoy that. Right, yeah. No, this episode in particular really focuses more on fleshing out who the characters are, especially Walt and Jesse. We see a little bit more of Skyler. There's no Hank in this episode, which is kind of like surprising. But yeah, look, give me you started doing it. Give me your overall episode thoughts and what your outlook is for the future of the series based on the 2 episodes that we've just seen. Well, I'm trying to think. Really, the first episode was way more like I think that it's also got 20 more minutes of it. It's like an hour long. This is like 40 minutes long. And I think that this one's around 45 minutes. Either way. I like the original pilot episode has like it has a lot of character development, but there's a little bit more action. There's a little bit more stuff going on. But this one, they could have easily said like, okay, well now we've got them hooked. We need to do another episode that's going to like really suck them in. And it's like, no, now we already have them hooked. So like, let's take a minute to kind of figure out like our surroundings, show our characters, and just kind of like, even if, if this is it's such a good, like, if this is their first dipping of the toe into this world, this is how fucking bad this can get. And this is like this of their first day is somebody's like worst case scenario. Like that's the hilarious part. And I was like, and it actually, the comedic choices in this are really fucking funny too. And the character choices as well. Like to see him just fucking ripping up a joint. And I was like, dude, that is awesome. I was like, that is so cool. And I just thought it was interesting. And I think you get a lot of meat on the bone to, I say more than Jesse, but definitely Skyler and Walt. A lot of Skyler in this episode too. Rightfully so. If you were out all night and you didn't tell your wife where you were and you're acting weird and shit, she's going to know something's up. So I think it's like
I'll just be like, shut up, bitch.
Yeah, shut up. That's when she's like, where have you been all night? You're like, I have cancer. She just drops it. She just drops it. Yeah. But no, I think it's really good for like character development and the fact that it's not just, everything wasn't wrapped up in a nice little bow from the first episode. There are still some threads that we have to kind of wrap up. And I think that's really cool. And it's a little bit slower than the first episode, and I can understand why somebody might be turned off by that. But they knew they had you from get go. So let's dial it back a little bit. And like we had a rise, let's deal with the fall of the implications of that first episode. So that's kind of what I took away from it, like in a nutshell, and really good character stuff from Walt too. Just seeing his, I don't know, we'll get into it. There's a moment I stood up and was just like, in this episode, and I was like, that's fucking amazing, dude. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, man, like this, like you said, the pacing of this episode is a bit slower. I actually prefer the pacing of this episode to the pilot. I think the pilot, look, while it's one of the best episodes of the entire show, I think it's very erratic, like it's really kind of like not in a rush,
but it's really hurrying to introduce us to so many elements, so many characters, and like different relationships that it's a little bit like kind of like overwhelming. So I like when a show kind of like takes a step back to really look at what they have and flesh it out. Like, I mean, the big crux of this episode that I take away from it is Walt and Jesse's relationship and like how these two interact with each other moving forward. Like how it's going to be like, all right, this is the basis of it. Let's see how this relationship grows, how they end up talking to each other, how they end up treating each other, who ends up coming up with the ideas, rather, and who ends up being the one that's like, I don't really know about this kind of thing, flip-flopping. I'm not giving spoilers at all, but it's really interesting to think about.
Yeah.
And then like not only that, but the episode goes into the whole, how wrong it is to fucking kill someone. Like
wrong is such a loose term, though. I mean,
wrong is subjective.
I live in the South. This is self-defense on a good day. It's like that is.
Oh boy,
dude. Oh no, I was like, I don't the whole like. I mean, because the whole time I was like, yeah, those guys would have fucking killed you. Like, therefore, you kill those guys. Like, it's like, dude, that's. I don't know. To me, I was just like, what is the argument here? Like,
that's interesting.
I know. And a lot of people are like, dude, that's fucked up. Like, you just go down there and kill that dude. Like, I mean, I'm not going to go down there and like cut his eyes out with a fucking snow cone, but it's like, maybe just go to shoot him in the back of the fucking head and be done with it, Like, he tried to kill you. Like, what the fuck, man? I don't know.
That's interesting because, Walt doesn't really have that way of thinking. Like, he's got the whole... I'm a chemistry teacher. I'm doing this for my family, and now I have to fucking kill someone.
Right. Like, he forced me to do it.
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, like the death of Emilio that he did in the first episode with the whole powder, like the guy that's dead in the RV, like that was indirect, he fucking threw some powder in the thing and it just blew up and it killed him, right? Like that's not as direct as going up and fucking actually murdering someone with a fucking... like with a plastic bag, right? That Walt tries to do in this episode.
Right.
So I think they're kind of like grappling with the whole directness of it. Like, and I'll get into it. Like my notes kind of like get into the whole how Walt is intentionally kind of wanting to sidestep the directness of being a criminal.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that. But yeah, I mean, I really dig this episode. I think season 1 as a whole is a very strong season. There's no real kind of like weak season in Breaking Bad, and I don't really think that there's a weak episode in Breaking Bad. They're not all winners, but this is just a great follow up in my opinion. So,
well, yeah,
really keen to get into.
Everybody can't be first,
Right,
like everybody
exactly.
can't be. But no, I just exactly what you said about Walt of like wanting to reap the benefit, but of not wanting to get his hands dirty. I think there's actually a parable about that of like. There's a rooster trying to make bread that lives on a farm, and all the animals, she goes to the cow and tries to get milk, and the cow says no, and she goes to the chicken for an egg, and the chicken says no, and then she ends up making the bread, and all of the barn animals are like, hey, can we have a piece? And they're like, no, fuck you. You didn't help me with shit.
Right, you can't have it both ways, right? You can't expect to reap the benefits, and you can't expect to not do the dirty work. Absolutely. But yeah, man, what do you say we get into this week's episode?
Let's do it.
Just before we do, previous week's word association, right? So I gave you 4 words or 4 like phrases.
Oh
rather.
Shit, I forgot all about this.
I was like, all right, which one of these is not a part of episode 2? Number 1, bike lock. Number 2, marijuana. Number 3, hydrofluoric acid. Or number 4, heroin. And it was really, really fun to see the way that you kind of like scrambled through each one. You're just like, yeah.
What did I pick? I don't even remember what I picked.
You picked marijuana.
Okay. I figured we were past this stage. I figured we're on to crystal meth. Who's got time for marijuana?
But obviously the answer is heroin because there's no heroin that takes place in this episode. So there you go.
Unless you at home are listening and enjoying some capital H yourself while you watch the episode. There's no heroin in this. This podcast is sponsored by heroin.
Unless you're watching The Wire at home, like,
right? Yeah.
All right, let's get into this bitch. So, open right where we left off, right? Black screen and just audio of like Walt coming, dude.
Oh yeah,
how jarring.
Yeah. Fuck.
But like as he's coming, like he's got dude. It sounds like he's about to croak. Like he's got the whole.
Yeah, he's got a bad fucking cough,
dude. 100%. And then we come back to 12 hours earlier. The RV is getting rescued by an Indian on a tractor. Mad props, says Jesse.
How did this guy? At first, I was like, "Is this guy like Jesse's friend, or was this dude literally like, man, if we only had like a tow truck?" And they're sitting on the hood of the car, and this guy just goes by real slowly in the background, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
So you know what it is, and this show has 0 holes. Like you know what it is?
Yeah,
it's the guy who owns the cow house that Jesse was talking about in the last episode. Remember how he was like, "Oh, I can see a cow house out there." The guy saw the smoke from the fire.
Cool.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's neat.
Yeah. I was doing some reading about that because I'm like, man, they're in the middle of in the fucking buttfuck nowhere. And like, how did this guy find him? But yeah.
Right.
And they come up with this web of lies to tell this guy, right? Like, Walt's like, my coffee mug spilled all over me. And they hand this guy just like a bunch of sopping wet cash.
Dude, oh my, like everything about it is just like 2 guys, one of them half naked in an RV, one of them with a violent wound to his face. And he's like, yeah, man, it's just, GPS, what are you going to do? It's like, dude, that is the level of denial in that situation is amazing. Like, I don't, and the guy, what's the point? He probably doesn't fucking care. He's like, cool,
he
whatever.
Doesn't give a fuck.
Right. Yeah. And he let Jesse gives him $40. And Walt's like, what the fuck, dude? That's one of the best parts. Like that is a George Costanza Seinfeld move. That's like that is such a Costanza move.
Well, like, I mean, all right, they don't need to explain it, but they do. And they really like over explain it. And again, it gets into what the whole episode's about. It's kind of like this whole paranoia thing, right? Like we need to take action and overaction to kind of like fix the issue that we're in. Fix the problem that we're in. The question remains, what do we do with the bodies of Crazy 8 and Emilio? Walt says, let's drive the RV to Jesse's house, storing it overnight. And Jesse's just like, we're not taking it to my place.
Oh, yeah. I know we talked about like last episode. I like Jesse, whereas Jesse is okay with like selling the shit and meeting up with these people and cooking it. Like, but he's not violent. And so we can kind of relate to him a little bit more. But at the same time, he's like, man, I don't shit where I eat. I don't want to bring this stuff home. It's like, I don't blame him. That's how you keep your shit straight.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about Jesse's education soon. Don't worry. Walt has a coughing fit in front of Jesse, and Jesse's like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? He's just like, did you see Jesse's face? He's just like, what the fuck? As Jesse and Walt celebrate when they finally manage to turn over the engine, we pan down to the gas mask that's been left out in the desert, and we hear Crazy 8 gasping for air. And then it's just like what a shit moment, dude. What were you thinking? What was going through your mind? Talk to me.
Man, it reminded me of something, but I can't quite. Goodfellas. Yeah, that's what it reminded me of, was them being like, no.
In the trunk.
And they open up. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought it was Goodfellas, but the fact that, it's one thing of like, if this person wouldn't recognize you at all, it's the same predicament with Goodfellas. Is like, you can't, this person will definitely kill you. And B, like it will, besides being killed, even if you aren't killed, you will be paranoid for the rest of your life, and your whole operation will be ruined because of this person. Jesse's going to get killed because they're going to be like, oh yeah, this guy tried to murder me. Like, it'll ruin everything. Like that totally topples the whole house of cards. So it's like, yeah, but again, he tried to kill you, shoot him in the fucking head, and bury him in the fucking desert. And like,
right, you've been looking over your shoulder the entire time, right?
Yeah.
If you left him alive.
Hey, there's no God. Just shoot him in the head. Shoot him in the fucking head.
There is no God, as we say on Midnight Double Feature. Walt tries to make small talk at the table about photos, but nobody's into it, right? Like at the dinner table. He's talking about fucking, like, the cleavage of his students.
Like preteen cleavage,
yeah,
which I believe on the internet is called prevage. No, it's like no, it's
fucking the FBI is busting down your door right
now. He's got emails from Epstein. Wow, there's also the Clintons and the Trumps in here. This is crazy. No, I'm just kidding.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah. Oh my God. The funny thing is, like, it's watching any guy with a mustache should never talk about cleavage of an underage girl. It's extreme. I mean, nobody should really, if you were like, you know what, I'm noticing on my way to work, Colin, I'm noticing a lot more 12 to 15-year-old cleavage out on the street. And I would just be like, dude, what? Don't talk about that. That's not appropriate. But coming from a guy who looks like, Stan Lee in like the 60s, it's just like, no, just don't do that, man. Just don't. It's just creepy. Don't. And it's such a
just let it be.
This conversation at this table right here is the reason why Walter's like, I fucked the shit out of you, and I cook meth, and I fucking murder people. Like this type of shit. It's like Kevin Spacey and what is that fucking American Beauty when he just loses his shit? Yeah, that's like the thing I can relate to it most.
Right. Well, that's what I was about to talk about. If you take away the weird shit that he's talking about, right? Like, no one is interested in what Walt has to say. Like, Walt's son and Skyler's just totally, like, nonchalant, like, barely even listening to him, like, and he's just kind of, like, rambling.
I like that his son is at least, like, like, he kind of laughs, and Skyler's just like, well, we're not talking about that. And I'm like, oh, I fucking hate you. You're a stupid cunt. I don't like you. Like,
Walt Jr. says, it's the Wonder Bra. And then, of course, we get Jesse leaving the voicemail. This is AT&T calling. Are you happy with your current long-distance service?
Dude, that's clever, and I love it. Like, that's really cool.
So good, right? But Jesse's freaking out because Crazy 8's not dead. We got loose ends here! And Skyler star 69's his ass, right? Gets that ridiculous answering machine. What up, biatch?
Like she gets the most like early 2000s voicemail, unless it was the voicemail like, hey, what's up? Oh, nothing. What are you doing? And dude, those were the fucking worst. And everybody had one in like 2005.
Every time I would like see that person like face to face the next time, I'd fucking tell him off. I'm just like, can you change your goddamn answering machine, please?
Oh yeah, I love at work. That's what I call people all day, and I get those voicemails. I'm like, I can't wait to leave this motherfucker a voicemail. Like, I can't wait.
Hey, do you still have MySpace? Is that what you're still rocking? Because
yeah. Oh, you got your top 8 in your song profile? Oh, that's awesome.
Send me love on Bebo. Walt starts trailing off. Am I in the right place? Yeah, Walt starts trailing off in the middle of a lecture and loses concentration while explaining thalidomide. And dude, I'd be like so interested. Like, none of these students are just like listening. But like, I'd be so interested. As soon as he says horrible birth defects, I'm just like, I would sit up, dude. I'm like, oh, did you say horrible birth defects?
Yeah. Well, the word what is he saying? Chiral, I can't pronounce
chiral.
Oh, chiral. It just made me think of like chimeras from mythology. That's like the first thing I thought of, and I was like, that sounds cool. But yeah, I mean, he seems like a cool teacher, I could dig it. And the whole, is this where he's getting into like the duality of shit and stuff, like the mirror image or whatnot?
Yeah. So with the hands, right? So the hands are opposite yet equal at the same time.
I like that. I like that. It's kind of like Walter's like, I'm trying to, I'm trying to leverage both ends. I'm trying to be dad and go to ultrasound. Like, yeah. And then I'm also like, I have to dissolve a body. Like, that's crazy.
Right. Well, I was trying to think of like, because, in the first episode, he gives that lecture about, how dissolution and then transformation, blah, blah, which is talking about Walter, the character. So I'm thinking, what is this lecture talking about specifically in the main story? And I'm thinking, is it Jesse and Walt? Like, are Jesse and Walt the two hands that's like equal, how they're stuck in the same situation, yet opposite because they are two opposite people? Like, they're two very different people.
Well, it's the destination's the same, but the journey was a completely different, kind of thing.
Right. And then, of course, is this going to be on the murder? But this is Walt starting to get the mens rea right now, right? Remember, like, to be convicted of a crime, someone needs to prove actus reus and mens rea. Actus reus is the act, mens rea is the guilty mind. So he's already starting to weigh in on him, on his conscience.
Yeah, I normally I hate that shit in movies where they're like, "Hey, how you doing, Myra?" Or they're like, "What'd you call me?" I said murderer, and it's like, I hate that shit. But I was like, midterm murderer. I was like, okay, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Swipes a couple bottles of hydrofluoric acid, right, from the lab, and back at Jesse's place, there's a bit of a situation unfolding, as Crazy 8 has escaped the RV. This is just after like Jesse's smoked a bowl too, so he's like he's on cloud 9.
Well, as Walter, I'm like, because he comes around the corner, and I don't want to jump too far ahead. You're like, I don't want to step on your toes. Like, as Walter turns the corner, there he is. I'm like, step on the fucking gas, man. Like, just be like, oh no, I was in this neighborhood because I was lost and hit this poor man. Like, right. I think I don't know, dude. I just would have fucking pounded him.
Well, for me, it's like, I feel like as soon as you start doing that, as soon as you hit this guy, people are immediately going to start asking questions. So, like, you've got, let's say you accidentally hit this guy in the street, and the fucking coroner comes, the police come, they take a statement. They're going to want to know about Walt's movements before this.
Well, if you stay, you don't stay, so Heb.
Well, I mean, tons of eyewitnesses.
He put a body in the back seat of his car. Nobody fucking saw shit.
How does that happen? I love how they like skip over that. They're just like, how do we get? How do we get Crazy 8 back to the house?
That shit happens though, man. I mean, there's unsolved mysteries is there for a reason. That shit happens. People get a broad daylight, man. Like that shit's crazy. But no, I was just kind of like, just hit him and drive off and be like, oh no, he died. How strange. And be like, yeah, he died 6 doors down from Jesse Pinkman's house. Like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's strange. Bye.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I'm just like, you know what? Don't fucking get into trouble.
You just stay out of trouble and you won't get run over by men with mustaches. That's my band name.
In a shitty fucking Aztec car.
Yeah, of course he drives something that looks like a van, because he's got to have something to go with that mustache,
If it's not a panel van, then it's this fucking piece of shit.
This guy with the mustache and a weird large vehicle is picking people off in broad daylight off the sidewalk, and I'm like, okay, I got it.
Oh man. Walt's on the way to Jesse's, like you said, and just sees a bombed out Crazy 8 dude just walking in the middle of the street like a goddamn Dawn of the Dead, struggling to breathe. Doesn't he look like a fucking zombie, man? Yeah,
he looks like I don't know. He looks like 2 steps down from the guy in RoboCop. He's like, help me. And he fucking comes out all fucked up.
He doesn't have the boils on his face.
You're right. Yeah. But there's something like just that infected kind of look of like, there's a different, when you look at Jesse and his eyes all puffy and you're like, oh, that guy got punched. You're looking at this dude. You're like, dude, you look like fucking Lizard Man from Spider-Man pissed all over you. Like, it just looks terrible. Like, ugh.
You look like death. You look like death. Dude, one of my favorite moments in the entire episode is just Walt pulling up next to him, and he's just like, hey, you. Yeah, he's just like putting his hand on the fucking... He's like, hey, you.
That's the best part, that he's like, no, he probably won't recognize me. He's like, hey, you. Like, oh, my God.
And, of course, Crazy 8 freaks out and knocks himself out hitting a tree. Again, like a really strange... This feels like a dream I had, right?
Right.
It feels like a weird dream that I had.
The humor in it is not like it's slapsticky, but it's slapsticky while, given the context of it, it is fucking terrifying. There's nothing put 3 Stooges, but they're like, selling meth and killing people. And you're like, okay, yeah, that's kind of fucked up. It's like, it's not really slapsticky anymore, but I like that. Like the whole, like they're trying to catch him and shit. Like they're like, given the context of it, that shit is always so much funnier when it's in like this dark humor.
Right. It's the very definition of black humor, right? And dude, is this phone number tracing thing a thing? Like, how Jesse plugs Skyler plugs Jesse's phone number into the website and it full comes up with the address?
I actually, part of my job involves that. And there are numerous free websites on the internet, maybe not in 2005 or whenever this came out. But like it had, like, you can request your information be pulled off of them. But yeah, no, absolutely. They'll tell you all the addresses you lived, all the phone numbers you had, possible relatives, people you've signed like legal documents with, like leases or shit like that. Like, it is out there. Maybe not at this time, but yeah, it's definitely out there. And this website looks so
janky,
TV budget 2000.
Yeah. Wow, that's wild to me, dude. But how great is Jesse's website? Dude.
Oh, dude. God.
I wrote this down. General interest, fine herbage, keeping it real, Jui Ryo Ki Kung Fu, and in parentheses, blue belt with shuriken certification, banding the skins with my smoking band, Twat Hammer, European motocross, and like in parentheses, plan to attend wheelie school in Vegas this summer. And then
okay.
wheelie school. And then MILFs. MILFs is spelled incorrectly because it's got the apostrophe like after the S. So it's like and then the education is De Vries, which is actually a real college, like an online college, a for-profit college. De Vries. Sorry.
Oh, no. I mean, yeah, that is universally mocked in the States. I'm
right.
Like, that's fucking, you wasted all your money.
Yeah. It says De Vries, and then it's like the straights, yo. That's his education.
The MILFs part I agree with, even maybe some of the mixed martial arts, but I was like, wheelie school? And I had to think about that for a second. I was like, oh, that sounds terrible.
Oh, God, man. I just love that this is like Skyler's introduction to Jesse Pinkman. It's fantastic.
Right. But you know what I like, though, is that his website comes across as such a fucking idiot that when Walter's like, yeah, he sells me marijuana, it's like believable. This is the kind of idiot who would have this website.
Totally. Walt wants to know more about Crazy 8. Crazy 8, what the hell does that even mean? And
so
we
stupid.
find out a bit. Oh, exactly. We found out a bit about what Jesse does, right? Jesse works mainly with Emilio, and Crazy 8 is one level higher. Crazy 8 is like the dude that sells Starbucks his beans, a distributor.
Yeah. He puts it in the most like puts it in like the most white guy terms for him to understand.
Right. And Walt wants to know if he's violent, right? Wants to know if he's capable of listening to reason. And this is, in my opinion, this is Walt trying to convince himself that he can strike some kind of deal with Crazy 8. It's just, he knows full well that this is a guy who just stuck him up in the desert. So he knows that he has to be killed, but it's Walt being the coward that he is, because he is a coward. Make no mistake. I think Walter White is a coward.
Yeah, I think that, I agree and disagree to an extent. Do I think personally, like, he's a coward? Like, what only affects him? Like, I could see that that would bother him less. But when it comes back to, they call him JR. Is it Junior, the son? They just call him
Junior,
right?
Walter Junior.
Yeah. Walt Junior and Skyler and the baby. I think that's more of a motivator than most of it, but I think it's like 60-40. I think you're pretty much there, but I think there's more of a motivation for the family aspect. But if he can also keep his own nose clean for his own personal gain, then, whether or not they're in the picture or not, you're 100%. Like, it is like cowardice. Like, well, all I want to do is cook crystal meth and be done with it. It's like, no, man. Like, you have like, I don't know. It's like when you're doing a podcast, like, well, I just want to sit down and record. And it's like, no, you've got to take notes and you've got to do socials and you've got to, it's like, no, man, you've got to learn to edit shit. Like, you can't just walk in and fucking record and be like, okay, well, I'm done, guys. See you later.
No one fucking warn us that this is so much work, man. It's too late to pull out now, but here we are.
So many of our friends have podcasts and they were just like, oh, dude, yeah, congratulations. It'll be a lot of fun. I was like, oh, fuck you. Thank you. I've hated the last 2 years of my life. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I feel old and I feel depressed. I've aged so badly in the last 2 years.
I'm only 16. I look terrible.
Oh, that's awesome. They hear noises coming from the basement. Paranoia is setting in, right? Like, what if he's faking it? And they shackle Crazy 8 up to the pole with Jesse's bike lock, right? An elegant solution.
Yeah, I dig it. I actually kind of do.
Yeah. And they brainstorm next steps. We have to do something, says the coward. And it seems to me that our best course of action would be chemical disincorporation. And Jesse's face is like, what? Now, maybe I might be looking into it here, but, that's why we have this fucking podcast. But I find the use of, Walt's choice of words really interesting. Walt uses the word disincorporation, and I think it's a bit of like, look at how smart I am, with the disincorporation element of it, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But it's also like, I'm uncomfortable with using the word murder because I want to distance myself from it because I'm not as bad as the real bad guys. I am doing this for my family.
Right. Yeah. It's like, if I don't speak the language but I can do the thing you do, but for different reasons and not speak the language, it's just another like degree of separation. I think you're 100% right. And I honestly, I thought there was going to be some kind of stupid, he's like, chemical disincorporation. And I thought just, dude, what the fuck is that? Speak English. And I was like, okay, cool. Jesse immediately is like, I know what the word disincorporate means. Like, I've heard that shit before. I like that. I like that they didn't play the dumb card and get like kind of I would have written it that way, and that's bad writing. And so like, I like the way that they just skip right over that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, what was your thinking here when, when Walt says, okay, this is what we must do. We need to fucking vaporize these motherfuckers.
I mean, I got no problem with it. I mean, I think we should do this to like 75% of the population. No,
well, to be honest, it makes sense, right? Like, I mean, you can't investigate a crime without a body. You can't investigate a murder without a body. And if there's no body,
I've always said, take somebody's body, put it in an oil drum, fill it up with like Quikrete, like liquid concrete, nail the top of it down with a hammer, and just throw it over a fucking bridge. But if you can't do that, then yeah, I would. I mean, that's what old Pat Bateman does in American Psycho. Just fucking throw him in a tub full of acid.
Yeah. Wait, is that what Bateman does?
I think it might be in the book or the movie, but I think that's what he does with Paul Allen. At one point, he's like, he says something about Paul Allen in the book or movie. I can't remember.
Right. But even Jesse thinks that this is messed up, right? Like, again, this goes into what you were saying. Like, Jesse's he's in the game, but he's not a hardened criminal, right? Like, he's just like, what the fuck? He's a kid.
Especially with that eye makeup on. That shit had me dying the whole episode. When he comes, because we've gotten to the part. I'm sorry. When he comes out and he's like, so is it done? No, we're not to that part yet. Sorry, I don't want to skip ahead. Continue.
No, please. We can. I mean, like, well, you can set it up.
Well, because we're at the part they just flipped a coin for who's going to do it, right?
Right. Yeah. Because they're in this 50-50, says Walt.
Right. Well, yeah, and the whole thing, Jesse goes and he's checking out the tubs and they're going over it, and Walt fucking rolls a J. And I think it's awesome. He's like going through the different weapons and shit. But the part that fucking cracks me up is when he comes home and he's like, so, how'd it go? And Walter's like, and you hear just, and dude, Jesse's head, like the crooked eye comes, like that turn is amazing, dude. And I didn't want to skip too far ahead. I was, but I think that part, like, I laughed out fucking loud. That is so fucking funny.
No, we're basically here. I mean, like, the last kind of like 15 minutes or so of this episode is there's a lot of that. Like, there's a lot of like, shouldn't I do this, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, yeah, like you said, dude, they flip a coin to see who deals with the body in the RV and who has to kill Crazy 8. And Walt, of course, has to deal with Crazy 8. Best 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Jesse has a container question asking what kind of plastic. Polyethylene, says Walt. It would be, dude, and again, wouldn't it be so much simpler if Walt would actually tell Jesse why it's important to have the right container, like, material? But he doesn't. Like, he can literally just tell him, hey, we need this, or the acid's just going to burn right through. But instead of doing that, he's so arrogant. He's so like, I'm smarter than you, and I'm not going to waste my time explaining this to you. Instead, he uses that time to remind Jesse about how he didn't listen to him in school. So he's not going to explain it now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, that's the... I guess that it ends up being a thing of where Walter is so like, I'm the one who's in control. You're the adult. You listen to me. And he's like, no, but you have to remember, this kid is like a loose cannon. Like, he doesn't he's not a complete idiot, and he doesn't shit where he eats, and he's smart about stuff like that. But he's also rash, and he's very, quick to do things. He's not a very forward thinking person. Where, like, again, it's this awesome combo of like book smarts and street smarts. But Walter has this like just common sense when it comes to shit, with average day-to-day life, that Jesse has common sense with criminal shit though. Like, dude, if we let this guy go, of course he's going to kill us, or they'll be able to find something, or they'll be able to trace it back to us. Like, I like that. It's a very cool, it's like watching these Lego pieces click off like perfectly. I'm like, oh, it's so good. Like, they complete each other really. Combined, they would be an amazing drug dealer, but separated.
Well, it's street smarts and book smarts, right?
Right.
So Walt considers using the gun on Crazy 8 and then the plastic bag. Dude, did you see the size of this revolver?
Is
he Dirty Harry?
Yeah. I was wondering, I mean, it looks like either like a 44 Magnum or like a 357 Magnum. Actually, that was the first gun I ever shot, was a 357 Magnum.
And I was so American right now. So American.
I was 10 and my dad had to like stand behind me and just make sure I didn't like blow my fucking head off. But no, that gun is like, oh dude, we were in the back just shooting it like trash in somebody's yard, and there was a toilet. And I remember shooting that toilet and it exploding. And it's like, oh my God, dude.
Your porcelain everywhere.
it'd be like fucking Scanners, where that guy's head just like blows up. Like that's all I fucking think of, dude. And that's why I'm like, dude, just walk in there. Like the whole episode, I'm like, walk in there and shoot him in the fucking head, dude. Like, if you're such a humanitarian, this guy's gonna fucking die of some horrible lung disease that people in Chernobyl only got if you don't walk in there and shoot him in the back of the fucking head. It's like, I don't know. It drove me nuts the whole time. Like, I know that's so callous and shit, but it's like, dude, the fact that if you just shot him in the back of the head in the first place, this wouldn't be a problem. But you decided to go all fucking Doctor Strange and throw some kind of wizardy spell in his face, and it fucked him up. And it's like, and now you're doing the fact that you didn't want to get your hands dirty is causing more harm than good. And I think that goes right back to what you were saying. And I was like, dude, just go in there and get it over with, man. Like, it's not fun, man. I've had animals that were like, I've seen animals that have been like hurt or hit by a car, and it's like, dude, and there's, just sitting there in pain. And it's like, I don't feel good about having to come up and do what needs to be done, but I know that ultimately, you're putting something out of its misery, man. And it's just, it sucks at the moment, but it's just, for someone who's so morally conscious, you'll sleep a lot better if you just do what needs to be done. It's like, and it's your fault he's in there in the first place. So just fucking do it and get it over with.
Well, it reminds me of, what's the opening of that movie, The Invitation, right? What does he hit? The deer or a dog, and he's forced to kill it?
Right. Yeah.
Like mercy kill it. Kind of like that, right? But I mean, like, again, yeah, you'll honestly, I'm writing down here, Colin pro murder, but but what you're saying is right. Like he must be in so much agony right now that it's just like, you gotta mercy kill this guy now, man. You gotta mercy kill him.
I just imagine it's like slow strangulation of just like less and less oxygen every 10, 15 minutes you can breathe.
Oh, like, I just picture like Jesus. His lungs like shriveling up, and like,
Right. Oh God, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. She's like, I hate that.
Well, I mean, like the first thing he does here, like when Walt, decides on the plastic bag, and we see that Crazy 8 is alive. The first thing that Crazy 8 asks for is water. Like, you know, like he is fucking dying.
Yeah.
But it's incredible how quick Walt just bitches it and runs back upstairs once he sees that Crazy 8 is conscious. And he listens to Crazy 8 though, like, which is really interesting. It's like his first like instinct to be like, it's fucking every human's first instinct to help someone out, right? Like, he brings them water, brings them food, and the bucket of shit in. Dude, this is one of my favorite moments when he just keeps sliding things in the shot, and you just see the toilet roll just slide in, and then the sanitizer just slide in. Such a great choice.
I was hoping it was going to keep going, and there was just like a razor gets slid over, and then like a can of like Barbasol shaving cream, and then like a TV, and then like a TiVo, like an Xbox, and there's like just sliding over like
the case to the bike lock.
Yeah, he just slides over like a fleshlight. It just rolls across the floor.
Oh, shit.
Bottle of Jergens.
Fucking some moisturizer.
Yeah, but I actually, and there's something interesting as well that we haven't touched on of. My significant other is a teacher as well in a high school, and every teacher has that kind of, I don't know. Most teachers have that kind of thing where they get, not emotionally connected to their students, but, I think that Walter can probably sit there and be like, dude, this guy's young enough to have been like one of my students at some point. Like, this feels terrible, and like, here I am going to a class and these kids are like, is that going to be on the midterm, Mr. White? And they're like these really nice kids with their whole lives ahead of them, and here I am about to shoot this fucking guy in the back of the head, over crystal meth that I was cooking. Like, man, I don't know. I just kind of thought about that as an educator standpoint and be like, I shouldn't not be on this end of the spectrum, because this guy's significantly younger than him. I would say 25, 30 years younger than Walt.
Oh, totally.
So,
way younger.
Yeah, right. So I think there's something there that I don't know. That would affect me is all I'm saying.
Right. And you know what? Actually, you know what? I'll fucking table that for another day. For another discussion. But yeah, no, you're totally right. You're totally right. I'm going to be doing this a lot, by the way, where I'm like double double thinking, like, you know, like, yeah, can't say that. But again, like Crazy 8 peeling off the crust, like, you know, Vince Gilligan does such a great job of humanizing this guy in the time that we have with him. Again, like really kind of like hammering home just how big of a decision this will be to Walt. And like you said, Walt tries to roll a joint and burns one, and he just can't suck it down without coughing one up, right? He just coughs immediately. The joint.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, I just
you're looking at me like fucking. You're looking at me like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Something popped up on my phone and was like Trump, blah blah blah, and I was just like, not in my happy time, not now.
I'm in my safe space. I'm in my safe space. God damn it!
Get me away from this place. That's why I trap myself in a closet. Yeah, the joint, like. I've never, tried to roll left-handed or right-handed cigarettes, if you get what I'm getting at. Back when I was a younger man, but it was, dude, if you've never done this before, or even trying to hand roll like cigarettes, like, because I smoked for a long time, we would try and hand roll cigarettes. It's like, dude, that is so fucking hard. And the fact that he even ever got anything done, I was like, that's impressive. Good for you, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like, I reckon he's rolled a few joints back in the day, right?
Yeah, I forget it because he's 50 in this show, so I mean
it's
that's
50,
2005. Yeah. Oh yeah, he would have been lighting up some J's.
Absolutely. Jesse comes back. No store in town sells a bin big enough for her body, and Walt suggests buying 2 bins, cutting the body up. I don't suppose you could kiss my ass.
Well, here's my idea. Why don't you just fill both of them up and put the feet in one and the arms in the other, and just kind of do them like a rainbow or like a horseshoe. Just let him kind of dip in both, and then, when one side's done, whatever side gets done first, throw it in the other bucket. Okay, maybe I thought about this too much.
Oh, sorry. Jesse's not that smart, and yes, you did think about this way too much. No, but I feel like you'd be left with like the torso will just be like solid torso, and like
it's just like from the neck to the belly button.
Yeah. Oh, dude, could you imagine the smell? Oh, god damn it. And then we get the ultrasound scene, right? The baby's gender is a girl, and Skyler questions Walt about Jesse. Who is he to you? Why is he calling? Blah, blah, blah. And dude, Walt is such a bad liar, right? He's like, yeah, he's nobody. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then we get the greatest moment of all time.
Yes. Dude, I think he's a bad liar, but him being like, he's nobody, and it's like, that's the part that's bad. But the fact that he rebounds pretty quickly though. And he's like, he sells me pot. And it's like, oh, cool. Like, that's believable. That would seem like, ooh, like edgy to Skyler. If he said crystal meth, like, no, your marriage is over. But he's like, I gotta give something.
Oh, totally. We've seen this before, and we'll see it again. Just again, like how quick Walt is under pressure to come up with something. Like, like again, last episode, we had Crazy 8 at gunpoint pointing the gun at like Walt, and Walt's like, yeah, you want to know my recipe? Like, here it is. Like, like he's just so good at like improvising and manipulating and lying, really. But yeah, I kind of like it. He says when he says about the marijuana, and then she just starts in with the whole, your brother is a DEA agent. Right now, what I need is for you to climb down out of my ass. Would you please just once get off my ass? Dude, I cheered the first time I saw that.
Dude, because he's kind of, what Walter says, he's like, yeah, I smoke some pot, and I have been a little weird lately, but, I still love you, and nothing has changed. And it's like, so he's making pretty solid points. Just like, dude, calm the fuck down. Like, you act like I'm showing up at night with strange bruises on me and I have a fake identity and I'm fucking Batman or something. Like, I'm just, calm the fuck down. And I get it. I understand why. I mean, yeah, I think if your wife shows up at 2:00 in the morning and doesn't explain what she should be like, oh, hell no. Where the fuck were you, dude? Like, like what the fuck was going, not even from like were you out there cheating on me? It's like, no, like what happened? Like, are you okay? Like, are you good? Like, I can understand that, but this doesn't come across as concern. This comes across as control.
Right, there you go. That I was just about to say, it comes across as control. Like, it comes across as, we've been happy in our relationship for the last 20 how many years. And in those years, I have been able to control you. And now that you're rebelling, you're doing things on your own, I'm uncomfortable with that.
Yeah, 100%. It's like, no, I want you under my thumb.
Right, exactly. Jesse's watching the Three Stooges and smoking meth, talk about procrastinating. But again, the Three Stooges, very similar to what they got going in this episode with Walt and Jesse. Just how inept they are, right? Like it's good imagery, good metaphor. And he gets the courage, right? It's all just a bunch of meat. But while he's in the midst of dragging Emilio's body to the bathtub, who shows up to Jesse's place but none other than Skyler White?
What a fucking idiot. Like, that is, oh my God. Like that. And the fact that she has the balls to fucking walk in here, and literally be like, and the whole thing that got me is I was like, okay, at what point is she going to say marijuana? Cause it's got a sitcom-y vibe of like, they're both off on the wrong page and, oh, it's wacky, blah, blah, blah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, the comedic elements in this episode is a little bit, it's good, and I like it because it comes across as like, not that there would be any kind of comedic parts in this. There's a little bit in the first one, but in this one, it's like, dude, there's a lot of fucking funny parts in this episode. And then Crashman, she's like, don't ever sell him marijuana, and you can see Jesse just like real quick, his eyes start, and he kind of picks up on it, and he's like, okay, like, you know what he does? He keeps his fucking mouth shut. Yeah, and that's what saves the whole thing, and like that's what's so great is he just goes along with it. But dude, you have no idea who this guy is. He could fucking go Manson all over your ass, and it's like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you're a pregnant, unarmed woman walking up to a drug dealer's house.
But
like,
that's it.
I understand.
That's it. She's a pregnant woman. She's using that, like, she's going to be like, no one's going to attack a pregnant woman. That's why she's like,
shit.
She's like, she's like, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Like, she does that whole thing.
Like, dude, that is, and that's another thing about Skyler. It's like, you use your baby as a fucking shield. Like, you walk in there basically holding your baby hostage, being like, no, nobody can touch me because I have this, baby in my belly. And it's like, lady, they don't give a fuck. like, I don't know. That just blows my fucking mind. And it really showed me how, you could say like, oh, that was really brave, or that was no, that is fucking stupid. That is being
stupid.
That is, what is it? Don't write checks. Don't let your mouth write checks that your ass can't cash. And it's like, don't do that shit. Like, that's a bad idea.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, she lays down the fact that Hank is a DEA agent, right? Like, that's another big part of this, and warns Jesse not to sell weed to Walt. I've always found it funny the way she says, my name is Skyler White, yo. My husband is Walter White, yo.
That is pretty funny.
But Jesse continues lugging Emilio up to the bathtub. He's struggling, dude, to get him up the stairs. Just like hunk of dead meat, right? And man, one of my favorite shots, and this is going to be a very recurring thing in Breaking Bad, the transparent shot up through the bottom of the bathtub. So you've got Emilio, and then it's like he's lying on glass when really he's lying on the porcelain of the bathtub.
Love it,
slick.
man.
It's slick. Jesse talking to himself is great. Reminds me of John McClane in Die Hard, right? Like, come out to the coast, get together, have a few laughs.
Yeah.
He's just trying to hype himself up. And Walt arrives, and Jesse confronts him about having a brother in the goddamn DEA, and Skyler coming around to Jesse's. Walt sledges Jesse for smoking a bowl, right? I barely got him in the bathtub, says Jesse.
Yeah, dude, fuck off with that shit. Let the guy smoke some fucking meth. Let him do it. Like, it's one of those things where, like, you have no one else to go to. I think if that were your only thing, that my guy likes to also smoke meth, you know what? There's a lot of things that people who smoke meth do worse than smoke meth.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
like, just let him enjoy his thing, dude,
Oh, yeah. And boom, right? Like, yeah, Walt's like, wait, the bathtub? Did you say the bathtub? Dude, the slow walk to the hallway, looking up at the ceiling, seeing the dripping acid. What were you thinking? What's going through your mind?
I knew it as soon as he started putting him in the bathtub. Before Walt got there, I was like, dude, he said put him in a plastic tub. And I was like, and I'm pretty sure you can't just put a body in, if even like my mom has a antique steel bathtub. And it's like, dude, even that, you have to be careful about what you put in there. So like I immediately knew it when he started dumping him in the tub, and I was like, dude, no, that's a very, very bad idea. And then seeing the hot blood drip through the ceiling, it's like, oh my God. Like the way the whole shot is, and when it falls through the floor, oh my God, dude, it's like Hellraiser. I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, that is crazy, like crazy violent for this show. I didn't think it was really going to get like that gory, you know?
It's just like a partially dissolved kind of like torso, right?
It looks like the base of it looks like a hot dog, like stuck onto the bottom of the, it's like, ugh.
While we're here, so hydrofluoric acid does indeed eat through glass and most metals and plastics. But despite this, it is considered a weak acid because it doesn't completely disassociate in water. And would it work to dissolve a body? Yes. However, it is a bit unusual for a high school chemistry lab to have such a large stock of the stuff. I've got a little bit of a note here. Walt's choice of hydrofluoric acid itself is unusual, as he would know that lye, a much more readily available, less widely corrosive base, when mixed with water, would reduce a human body to liquid sludge and fragile bones.
Oh,
which is interesting. He could have used lye.
What are you reading over there? What is that?
I got this book. Gives me like Breaking Bad facts. Pretty good.
Oh, that's cool. That's fucking neat. I mean, it's still your thunder and like expose you as a fraud or anything. But
no. I've been using it as kind of like a supplement. So like I take my own notes and then like I kind of like cherry pick like some trivia that this book ends up.
Dude,
so
speaking of supplements, I wake up every morning and I do heroin because this podcast is sponsored by heroin.
Heroin available at every corner.
HEROIN. Like
the jingle.
What would the Fallout jingle be for heroin? That's send us your jingles. Let us know.
No, we can just ask fucking Will Ferrell's character from The Other Guys. Lando Global, we're in everything.
Oh, I love we're in everything. That's so good, dude. You know he improv that shit. He fucking did.
I know. He must have. But that's not the end of the episode because the episode ends with these kids, these Indian kids in the desert finding the gas mask, right?
Whoa. Native American, please.
Okay, well, look, all right. I'm not from there. I don't know the colloquialism. But yeah, these kids finding the gas mask in the desert. Consequences. This show, if I was to bring it down to one thing that it does really, really well, is showing the indirect consequences of Walt and Jesse's actions. And this is just highlighted here, dude. Like, they had no idea that just leaving a gas mask, they haven't even realized that they have left a gas mask, by the way, would probably kick off a chain of events. I'm not saying that it will kick off a chain of events, but
right.
Yeah,
you are.
Good
you
stuff.
Just told me with your eyes. Your eyes.
No,
because that's kind of what I was wondering. Because like, what is the relevance of this? Like, is this going to come back? What the fuck are these kids doing out in the goddamn desert? That's kind of what I was laughing at. I was like, did they wander away from like a sacrifice or something? Like, did they escape?
See, your whole shit was worse than what I said.
What?
That's sacrifice.
No, I was wondering. I was like, is this literally just a symbol of like, they're so sloppy a child stumbled upon your shit? Or, will there actually be like repercussions? Will this little girl's dad turn out to be Hank's partner? And he's like, oh shit, this is a gas mask. Like, let's run some DNA. But, whatever. I don't fucking know. I haven't seen the show. So I think it's interesting seeing like the ripple effect of even something that small, that small exposure, that kink in the armor can be enough to pierce the flesh. I like that.
Exactly. 100%. So that's episode 2, man. The cat's in the bag, right?
Yeah, I dig it, man. This is a good episode. This show's got a really good blend of humor and it's not too heavy. I think that's why I can't watch a lot of TV shows, like except for like Stranger Things has really good humor, most of the time though, when I watch, for sure. But most of the shows that I watch, like every day, I at least watch King of the Hill or Frasier, or like Lindsay will put on like Broad City. I don't mind comedy movies, but when I watch TV, I think I prefer the comedic television to like, that's why I've never really got into like Lost or The Wire or Game of Thrones or like the 4400 or like.
I hate everything you're saying right now. These are all great shows.
I know, and I need to watch them, but there's something where there's something about the humor of this that like, I feel like it's my kind of like, it's built for me to a T, this kind of humor. And I love the whole thing of just like, how do you sit there and laugh and have like shenanigans about a body you're dissolving in fucking, a tub? But they pull it off. And that's why I really dig it, is they can be serious. But, Skyler going over there, I'm Skyler White, yo. Like, all of that shit is so like, she's like a pre-millennial Karen right now. And I'm like, oh God.
Totally.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode a lot. I think this is really good. I think a show's off to a good start. A little bit slower, but I don't mind that at all, because instead of moving fast and covering a lot of ground, we covered a little bit of ground, but we went real deep with that ground. And that's what I like. I think that's a perfect, for me, in my opinion, a perfect kind of summary of the episode in whole,
Well, here's the thing. Like, if it slows down any further than this, then I would like totally be uninterested. But like, this episode kind of sets the pace for, especially season 1. This like, it really sets the pace. And I think they do a good job with what they have. And I think, the pacing is solid. Like, because you, especially in this episode, you give Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul really a lot of room to breathe and like a lot of room to act. Like, man, like this is, you got to remember that this is a TV show. Like, at this time, we have shows like Prison Break that are like really these like very networky kind of like shows that aren't really focused on acting. Like, like they don't really put the acting on front and center. So like, when you get these two actors together, that's when you're like, okay, we have fucking gold here. But we've barely scratched the surface, dude. So I'm really excited to see what the episodes to come. Just real quick, give me your predictions for the next episode or expectations for the next episode.
I think expectations, I mean, definitely there's got to be some kind of new, this felt like, a major continuation from the pilot. Literally no new characters are introduced. The plot does not really move forward all that much. Like, I feel like it's more of like, instead of going in a line, again, they kind of stopped and built like a little bubble in that line and keep going like, oh, remember that time that this happened? Oh yeah. And it's like it's not just, this is not their day to day. So I think from this, I don't know, I was really worried about Jesse's house and like how they're going to clean all of that shit up and like get rid of all, like, how are you going to get rid of all this stuff? And what exactly is going to happen to Fuckface in the basement? What exactly is going to become of him? And like, at first watching this episode, I was like, are they going to fill up something full of this acid and he's going to fall in it accidentally handcuffed and just burn to death? I was like, is that what's going to happen? And I'm kind of glad it didn't, but that would still be fucking hilarious. But I'm curious what will happen to him. And I feel like, at some point, somebody from the school is going to notice that something is up, because there's like supplies in the last 2 episodes have been jacked from them. So, I say, if I had to guess, I would say, definitely something with Skyler, I feel like. And then I feel like the movements he's made busting out of this conformity and this like what's the right word? Complacency, busting out of this, there will be like his action, there will be reactions to him coming out of that complacency. That's kind of what I think, and that his world is, he's always moved in the way of that the world wanted him to move, and now he's moving on his own. And I think there will probably be reactions to that, good and bad.
Okay. Yeah, nice. I like your style. I like your style. All right, guys, that's Bad Crystal. Let's plug some socials. Let's plug our Patreon, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You got it? You want me to do it?
Go
okay,
for it.
You've been talking the whole time. I got it. Guys, if you want to find us on Instagram, we're Midnight Double Feature. We're on Twitter at MDF Pod. No, guys, no, really, we're on Instagram at Midnight Double Feature. You can find us on Twitter at MDF Pod. Shoot us an email, midnightdoublefeature@gmail.com, if you have any requests or questions or anything like that. Also, you can find us on Facebook, obviously, at Midnight Double Feature. There's a group attached to that called the After Party. Everybody's invited. We always have a lot of fun in there. It's been growing a lot more lately, and you guys make it feel like home during these crazy times. It feels awesome going there and reading what you guys have to say. Also, at the same time, like Zoheb said, we do have our Patreon at this point. If you guys want to find us on there, it should just be patreon.com/Midnight Double Feature. And we'd love for you guys to sign up. All of that stuff, is going to be possible through viewers like you. Obviously this show is self-funded. We're an independent podcast, like fucking everybody else out there besides like Ben Shapiro, Joe Rogan, and iHeartRadio. It's just like, that's all the podcasts that were ever made.
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding. Most of them though, you know, support your independent podcasting. It's $5 a month, $5. You know, it's one halfway OnlyFans video from a girl that you find following OnlyFans. It's one halfway. It's like a booty pic or something.
I was gonna do the traditional. It's like 0.3 of a coffee per day or some shit like that. But you're like, no, I'm going straight to nudity. I'm going straight to pornography.
Well, if you listen to us, you probably fap it a lot. So I don't. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. This show is sponsored by fapping
and heroin.
Yeah, and heroin. But guys, yeah, please come and sign up. It would be it would mean a lot to us, and we're kind of still getting this thing off of the ground. We really, really hope that you enjoy it. If you ever have any constructive criticism or something that you'd like to see on the Patreon, again, midnightdoublefuture@gmail.com is going to be the email to get a hold of us. And also, don't forget to rate and review us on iTunes. Listen, I know times are tough, man. Some people are not working right now. I know some people, you know, are tight on money, and I get it. If you can't spare the $5 and you want to, you can at least go and rate and review us on iTunes. It would mean a lot, and that's going to really help us get recognized and get brought up and bring some more listeners to the podcast, you know. And we'll, you know, if we just take off one day and all of a sudden we're signing multi-million-dollar contracts and, you know, we don't have to fap anymore and someone else is buying our heroin, then, you know, we'll still try to keep this independent for you guys, because this is a blast. Zoheb, you got anything else?
I'll still be fapping. I'm just going
to... Guys, thank you for tuning into the second episode of this. We guys hope you're enjoying it. And again, any feedback about this show as well, midnightdoublefuture@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you guys. We will catch you on episode 3. See you later.